Hello, my name is Harrison Bosco. We're back. We have Lito Averia, a technical expert, IT expert when it comes to all these issues about the elections. Let's go straight to the meat. Lito, during the break, you were telling me you also advise or help the Supreme Court. Can you explain that part?
Well, I'm a resource person.
Resource person ka ng Supreme
for
Court.
one of the subcommittees.
Ba't nangangailangan sila ng tulong? I don't understand. Korte Suprema.
Well, this is technology, no?
For them to give, para may ano sila.
Well, offshoot niyan yung E-Commerce Act, which was passed in 2000, RA 8792. So, nandun na pumasok na nga yung technology into the legal arena.
So, to help them understand.
Yes.
To judge how they arbitrate or mediate between these issues.
Correct.
Because they're not necessary. Alam mo, kailangan ba lahat ng tao sa gobyerno dapat computer literate na? Requirement, I think they should, but many I see in Congress don't even know how to use the laptops.
As users, they should, adapt to the technologies. Marami nang gumagamit ngayon. Yung mga bata nga, di ba?
Oh, mga bata. Pero yung mga may edad na, mga 50 anyos, 60 years old, 70 years old, marami ayaw eh.
My dad learned to use computers at the age of 86, I think.
But at least, he adapted. There are many, there is parang ayaw, may takot.
May
diba?
takot.
May takot eh.
May takot.
Tsaka ayaw talaga pasukan, nahalata ko na meron silang laptop, nakabukas doon, pero titignan mo yung laptop niya, walang laman.
Technophobe.
O, technophobe. Tapos, ginagamit as typewriter. Di ba? Or parang calculator.
Actually, yung laptop mo naman parang typewriter din lang eh. So if you've been using a typewriter, except that walang papel na lumalabas until you print it.
That's true, no? I use it as a typewriter as well. But no, it has a memory. Maraming ginagawa para sa akin.
Maraming ginagawa na to the end user, hindi na niya kailangan dapat alamin.
Okay.
Kasi if you get bothered by that, paano nangyayari?
Maganda yung sinabi mo eh. Technology should be in the forefront of government today.
Yes.
Requirement. It's part of the competence dapat whoever in government.
Kahit sa, again, like I said earlier, it cuts across everywhere.
Cuts across all. Tell us, let's go into the issues of this Smartmatic. Source code. Do we have a source code in this? Because no one has seen it. This is something that we write about. Everybody, I read all the editorials. Ano ba yung source code na yan? Meron ba yan?
There is source code, definitely, because it will not run without a source code. That's the source. What's the source code? Ito yung series of instructions on how the machine will perform its task. Okay? Para kilalanin niya yung marka sa balota.
Kumbaga, calculation.
Yes. Kilalanin niya yung
template calculation.
Yung template. Tapos bilangin niya mga boto, ilagay niya kung kanino yung boto na yon. So yun yung trabaho ng PICOS, di ba? So dun sa program or the source code, isinusulat yan ng programmers.
So meron talagang source code. Bakit tinatago sa taong bayan? Why can't you be transparent with it? It's dangerous?
Well, at the time, sinabi nila, IP, protection, no? Intellectual property. Okay?
Alright.
Yun yung rason na ginamit nila. But, di ba sabi nga dun sa batas, Section 12, sabi niya, as soon as the technology is selected, then yung interested political parties and groups
may look
into it. Okay?
This did not happen.
Yung at the time in 2010, when the selection of technology happened, and the source code was not released for the review, hindi ba ano na yun? A violation of law na.
But there have been so many multiple violations by the COMELEC and Smartmatic, but they continue to insist. And yan, linalaban mga abogado ito mga to. I don't know how they're getting away with it. Maybe because the Supreme Court also doesn't know how to arbitrate over issues like this. Hindi rin nila naintindihan eh. Wait, has anybody ever seen the source code?
Wala.
Does
to my
it
knowledge,
exist? It does.
I believe it does kasi nga wala yung what we call naman yung sinasabi ni Brillantes, ni Chairman Brillantes na binary.
Explain that part. Nakakawala yan. Sige, okay. Binary. Explain the binary.
Yung source code, sinusulat ng tao na baba. Sabi mo doon sa source code, A plus B is equal to C. Yan yung formula.
Instructions.
Instructions. No? So, iniisa-isa yon. This source code goes through a process of translation into another language, which is the computer language in binary.
In binary. Numbers.
Parang English and Spanish.
All right. In
okay?
binary language. So,
yes.
Yan yung mga series of ones and zeros.
Ones and zeros. We used to talk to computers, communicate with computers through lights, actually, on the control panel. Kung nakasindi o hindi yung patay yung ilaw on the control panel. Nalalaman namin kung ano yung laman ng memory, ano So I used to read binary.
Sige.
I used to
May
read.
lights pa, ha?
Well, hindi mo naman makikita yung electronic pulse doon sa computer eh. Makikita mo yan, ang representation niya, lights.
So, this source code is the guarantee of a specific template or instruction that the machine will follow once you feed whatever into it.
Correct.
Here is something, okay, tabulate. So, it's a tabulator, electronic tabulator.
Likened to that, yes.
Likened to that.
Itong para sa PICOS.
Okay.
No?
What is the RF cards?
It's not an RF, it's a CF card.
CF, okay.
Compact flash card.
Compact flash card. Parang yung mga
If you
USB
own-
natin ngayon.
Well, yeah, yung flash disk,
Flash
USB.
disk, nabibili na yan.
Except, pareho siyang technology, except in a different packaging.
Okay.
Yung physical packaging niya, it's square and
I've
it's,
seen it,
you
yeah.
know,
They showed it in Congress.
yeah, it's a couple of millimeters thick. And inside it are nano switches.
Nano switch.
These
Maliliit
are
na
small,
switches,
yes. Really small switches. It's a network of switches where you can write data.
All right.
Okay.
What is the purpose of writing data?
Well, to store it, to record it,
Okay.
to begin with. Now, dun sa specs naman ng COMELEC, ni-require niya, dapat write once, read many, memory, storage.
Okay. So read as much as you can, but you cannot rewrite.
You cannot rewrite, you cannot write over it.
So you cannot change the instruction into the computer. Can the CF cards change the source code?
No. The source code, again, is translated into computer language.
All right.
And that version in computer language is the one that is embedded in what we call the firmware
Firmware.
of the
okay.
machine.
All right.
Ito yung parang IC, yung integrated circuit niya. The
nakapasok na yun. Oh.
the small
So hardware na ito.
rectangular
Oh,
black.
hardware na. Okay.
Hardware level siya.
Okay.
Yung CF card, okay, pag prepare na ng Smartmatic doon sa kanyang warehouse, yung configuration ng election, sino yung mga tumatakbo, sino yung mga kandidato, what are the positions being contested, saang presinto ito, lahat ng data na yan.
Kasi nag-iiba per municipality at city.
Correct.
Because the mayors are different, the councilors are different, the governors are
Correct.
different.
Yung information na yan, yun yung nire-record sa CF card.
Para may iba when it goes to another area.
If I send a CF card, a PCOS machine with a CF card to Quezon City,
Iba kasi mga
pare-
contestants doon.
iba yung contestants doon. Pare-pareho yung software kasi nga hardware level yung
Babasahin lang.
Okay? Yung CF card is specific to Manila or specific to Quezon
Ayun.
City, specific to a district.
Yes, district specific.
Yeah?
So you only have so many CF cards.
About 78,000 of them to be spread nationwide.
Because of the barangays?
There are
because
78,000 thereabouts clustered precincts.
clustered precincts. So every clustered precinct has a CF card. So every
Yes.
PICOS has a CF card.
Correct.
Bakit pa linalagyan ng CF? Why hindi na pinasok sa source code yung machine na yun? Kasi
Hindi pwede.
pwedeng ikot yung machine maski saan, tapos lalagay mo na lang yun.
Yung
kung saan.
data, okay, apart from the
Okay.
configuration data, yun nga, yung mga kandidato, posisyon, mga ganyan, na inire-record dun sa CF card, on election day, yung boto mo, dun ire-record din. Yung boto ng taong bayan, dun nire-record. Kinukunan ng image, ng picture.
Yes.
Yung
So that information
balota,
is in the CF card.
Yes, pumapasok doon. Yung pagkilala ng makina doon sa mga marka, doon din nire-record yon. At kung kanino yung marka na yon, doon din inire-record, nilalagay sa CF card.
So yun ang puso nun, ang ugat nun, tsaka puso nun,
Well,
yung CF
utak.
card. Yung
Sabihin natin
nun.
utak.
So pagtaas ng eleksyon, kukunin yun ang binibigay ngayon sa COMELEC.
Well, yung laman nun, actually, yung election
yung data,
returns,
no?
and at the end of the day, di ba, may
election
counting
return. Padadala,
from election returns. That is what is transmitted electronically, wirelessly,
Wirelessly.
okay, through the telco
Yes, yung
network.
telco, yes.
Okay. Na, ngayon, kung bumagsak yung transmission, hindi makatuloy yung transmission, yung CF card na yon, according to the guidelines,
Physically dadalhin mo.
physically dadalhin mo dun sa Municipal Board of Canvassers.
Oo, correct.
Para yon
Calculate nila lahat.
upload nila yung data, what we call upload, meaning kokopyahin ng canvassing server yung laman ng CF card, tapos itatabulate din niya lahat yung mga votes naman sa precinct level.
Paano kung natatamper since it is not warm, meaning write once, read many? So kung pumasok na yan, ibahin ko, hindi ka nakatingin. Pwede ko ibahin yung laman ng CF card bago ko dalhin sa election.
And that is one of the dangers.
Can it be done?
It can be done.
That's why it was supposed to be restricted to worm.
Yes, para hindi rin siya matamper. Aside from yung mga other security features. Ang kulang doon, for example, hindi digitally signed ng BEI yung
Why
election
require
return.
digital signature?
To preserve the authenticity and veracity of the election returns.
The HRET, when they were assessing it in Congress together with the Senate, yung combined HRET, di ba doon? And really, I remember he went up and he said that we'll do away with digital signatures. I thought digital signature was my personal signature when I pass it on to something. It's not.
It's not.
It's the integrity of the information that is sent by supposedly one person, the election.
Well, it's like a stamp, a doc stamp. Okay?
Alright.
That pinipirmahan yon lahat, di ba, yung doc stamp. To preserve nga yung authenticity ng document.
Certified true copy.
Oo. In this case, electronic yung nature niya.
Okay.
But that stamp, okay, is tied to the identity of the person who applied that stamp.
So, isa lang pwede.
Okay. Yes. Sabi din doon sa batas, 9369, doon sa automation law, no, na yung pag-verify ng authenticity ng election returns, yung mga election reports, including yung mga COCs, will follow yung authentication rules promulgated by the Supreme Court. Anong rules to? Ito yung rules on electronic evidence. In that set of rules, nandun yung manner by which a digital signature can be authenticated.
Okay.
Okay? Now,
Following you, yes, yes.
nung sinabi nila Enrile will do away with the so wala ka ng verification. That in itself was a violation already
Again.
of the law.
But, you know, in the beginning part of the show, you said these guys in the COMELEC, their IT expertise, magagaling naman sila, you know them, they're your friends. Sabi mo, mahuhusay din mga yan eh.
Mahusay sila.
Why can't the COMELEC see all these violations they're committing left and right and continue to do so? It's now 2013, inuulit na naman nila ang problema.
Sadly, yung sa IT MISD ng MIS division ng COMELEC, hindi naman nasusuportahan sa taas eh, hanggang doon lang sila. Hindi nagagamit yung talento nila.
When they already can identify what is wrong.
Yes.
So they're just keeping quiet or sina-sidestep. Again, mga abogado na uuna, and they're opening their
At saka
mouths.
mga boss eh.
Yeah, but that's not the way of proper bosses. Bosses are supposed to work with everybody to get the
At saka
competent
hindi
minds.
katulad ko na I speak out my mind to my boss.
I noticed that when we were in the COMELEC, when we were doing the trusted bill, they don't open up.
Yes.
Takot sila.
Tahimik lang sila.
And yet these violations are continuing one after the other. Let's go to Smartmatic. Loko ba yan?
Well, lumalabas na ganun. No? Tingnan natin
Sige, sige, sige.
yung demanda niya against Dominion. Ang dami niyang sinacharge sa Dominion doon sa kanyang complaint na final nga doon sa Chancery, yung court ng Delaware.
Delaware.
Okay. Na inaamin naman niya, yung mga kiniklaim niya doon, kung babasahin mo mabuti, inaamin niyang pagkakamali din niya dito.
Ayun. Doon nag-umpisa yan eh. Kaya
Oo.
naglabasan eh.
So sinasabi ng Smartmatic si Dominion, ganito ang ginawa, nagkamali sila sa amin. Pero pag binasa mo mabuti, yung kiniklaim niya
Yung mga
against
mistakes niya
Dominion,
dito.
yun din yung mga mistakes niya dito. For example, remember that
Aren't we supposed to deal directly with the supplier? Dapat Dominion tayo pumunta eh.
that's another violation of the
Election
requirements.
code, di ba?
Well, not only the election code, nandun din yan doon sa bid documents ng yung RFP ng
We're
COMELEC.
dealing with an outsourcer which is Smartmatic. Dapat Dominion kausap natin.
Tama. At inamin niya na sinubcontract nga ni Smartmatic, inamin
ni Flores.
doon sa Joint Congressional Oversight Committee hearing.
Ngayon na nag-aaway silang dalawa, we are left with an empty bag. Or at least,
Naiibig tayo.
Brillantes is left with an empty bag. How will this election go through with all of these problems?
Hindi ko alam kung paano nila gagawin.
No, plus
Okay,
these machines
now,
are 3 years old, ha? They've been, yung actual machine lang. O
Aside from
baliwala
that,
yun?
aside from that, yung lisensya sa paggamit ng source, yung program
Ang program.
na nagpapatakbo ng PICOS,
Dominion yun eh.
Dominion yun, at pinutol na niya yung lisensya.
But we still have it.
Yes, we still have it. Ang right natin doon is licensed to, we are licensed, the Philippines is licensed to use.
Yes.
To use, okay, that particular version used in 2010.
we're not using the same version in 2013.
Not at all, because we have a different type of, we have a different
Different candidates
configuration.
also.
Not only the different candidates, walang presidente, vice-presidente, at ang ARMM kasama doon sa eleksyon. Remember, synchronized tayo with ARMM this year.
I see.
In 2010, ang
so may mga
pinaglabanan,
changes.
may mga changes.
Bakit sinasabi ni Commissioner Villantes, hindi niya na kailangan ng source codes? Hindi niya na kailangan dominion dito, if worse comes to worse. He does, tsaka yung STL ba yun? SLI?
SLI.
Their certification, he doesn't even require that. There's a local certifier. Is this correct?
Tingin ko mali. Tingin ko mali. Kasi sabi din doon sa batas, again, under Section 11.
You need a third party.
Yes, you need the Technical Evaluation Committee, which is really under the COMELEC,
Yes.
okay, shall certify that the software, through an international certification entity, sabi niya ganun.
Ngayon sinasabi niya, hindi na kailangan eh. But the tune he was singing right before that was he will go between and pay Dominion the $10 million na kailangan na hinahabol nila sa Smart Mat. At first, that was the tune, and Dominion said no.
Yes, and
It
I don't
keeps
know the
changing
legal
every week.
basis for that.
Oh, pero it seems every week papalit-palit.
Yes, and yun nga, I don't know the legal basis for that because there's no legal relationship between Dominion and the COMELEC.
That's right. There's no relationship whatsoever.
Correct.
It's with Smartmatic.
It's with Smartmatic.
I don't know Dominion.
So why doesn't COMELEC take Smartmatic to task?
Lito, bakit natin binili yung machines once and for all knowing that there were problems and there were glitches in 2010 anyway?
Again, like I said, no, before in many other fora, Smartmatic did not disclose to COMELEC that it had a brewing dispute with Dominion.
So may
Remember that the option to purchase was exercised the end of March
Correct.
in 2012.
2012.
Okay.
Yes, not right
Based,
after, yes.
based on the claims of Smartmatic against Dominion, the dispute started to brew in 2011,
Matagal na.
in June 2011.
So loko din na Smartmatic. Tinago
Yes.
sa...
Tinago.
Tinago nila.
Had they disclosed it, that would have been a major factor in the
Or
decision.
COMELEC did due diligence on Smartmatic and
Yes.
finding out that there was a Dominion that was part of it.
Correct.
We would have found out. We've got 5 minutes to go, and I'd like to sort of wrap up just a bit before I give you the last word on this. Where are we going? Malapit na election. Let's go back to that question. Can we have accuracy, transparency, never mind the speed, in this election?
Like I said, walang transparency. There's no transparency
So,
in any
We're all
automated
blindfolded.
system.
Blindfolded
Yes.
tayo.
What it-
Accuracy.
Accuracy is questionable because all of the tests, all of the mock elections, including that actual election we
Failed.
had was below par. And what is par? Yung 99.995%.
Is it possible to get 99.9995%?
Depende nga pa paano minimeasure din yan. No? Or yun doon sa performance ng makina. Now, ang problema, china-challenge nila, sinasabi nila ng Smartmatic, hindi mo maikukumpara ang pagbilang ng tao at pagbilang ng makina, which is correct. Unfortunately, that's what the law requires. Manual count versus electronic count.
So tama yung kay Gas. Mas maganda yung kay Gas. It could have solved both worlds. Bilangin manually in the local polls and then go electronic after.
Yes, a hybrid system, and there's nothing wrong against that. Kasi sinasabi ng COMELEC, sinabi automated, minamandato na automated yung election. But COMELEC has its broad powers also to determine
Where to apply automation.
where to apply automation. And to apply automation, alam mo, bilangan sa presinto, experience namin, pinakamahaba ng katapusan yan, 24 hours after closing of polls.
Pinakamahaba na yon.
Pinakamahaba na yan.
Pero sinasabi nila dyan yung lokohan. Hindi dyan ang
No.
lokohan. Hindi dyan yung
Mandaya ka sa presinto,
huli ka ng taong bayan.
bugbog ka, hindi lang huli, bugbog ka ng taong bayan. No? Ang dayaan, yung dagdag bawas, occurs in the translation and the transmission of the results dun sa canvassing. At yung canvassing natin, the longest that the country experienced dun sa canvassing period was 40 days or 41 days. That was
I
the
read that.
longest.
And they were saying that actually, Erap, because he was a landslide winner, actually, naunahan niya pa yung electronic count. Parang
Correct.
ganon. Is that correct?
Correct.
Isa pa yun. You wrote that.
Oh, yun yung pinag-uusapan nga namin ni former Commissioner Lagban, no? na yung pinakamahaba, natural, yung mahaba yung i-automate mo. Yun ang i-shield mo dun sa dayaan because we know that is where the dagdag bawas happens.
Brillantes is going around saying, ingat kayo, marami nagbebenta dyan. I know, I'm a candidate for Muntinlupa. I'm going for Congress. Ang dami may lumapit na rin sa akin. Harry, 4.2 million, panalo ka na. Tapos bumaba ka, naging 3 million. Ako sa loob-loob ko, how can I bet on something? Number one, binili ko na yung eleksyon. Di sira na ako. But is that possible? Even Chis Escudero came out and said that. Remember? Lumabas sa yan eh.
Time and again I've said, it's possible to hack the PCOS machine. Okay? But the window of opportunity to do it is very small. Okay? Because the machine will connect to the main system only at the time when it transmits data, yung election returns. That's a very small window. Second, you have to have intimate knowledge. Okay? So ang ginagawa ng hackers, nagre-reconnoiter yan, ini-inspectionan niya yung lugar. Tapos we'll look for that right opportunity when to
come in and
hack it and study.
When you hack it and study, it's physical.
Well, no, it's not even physical. It's in the airwaves also. I can connect to the machine wirelessly.
So you connect to the machine wirelessly and you change if you don't like the desired results.
Yes.
And then you transfer.
Again, motive, opportunity, plus incentive, of
Yes,
course.
of course. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Kaya.
But it is going to be difficult. I'm not saying it's going to be
So
impossible.
anong dapat bantayan natin itong eleksyon? Hindi masyado yung dayaan o yung mga loko na binibenta nila, yung gagawin kitang congressman, gagawin kitang governor. Ano babantayan natin na magtrabaho yung machine to begin with? It will actually accept the paper, number one.
Oh. Well, pag lumabas na yung results, wala ka na magagawa.
Tapos
So,
na ang labanan.
ang babantayan mo na lang yung ER na pwede mo makuha, no? Nababiyahe dun sa canvassing system all the way to the top. Yun ang babantayan mong resulta. Again, unfortunately, like in the last elections, hindi kumpleto yung transmit dun sa central server tsaka sa web server. So may maraming problema.
Marami. Lito, your exit message to our viewers. What would you like to say in the last minute? Because we'll have to close the show. Alam mo, kulang sa isang oras eh. Kulang na kulang.
Well, kulang na kulang, but we have to really be vigilant about watching
How
the
do we
elections.
be vigilant? What can the people do, our viewers? How can they participate to help make this country better and help the COMELEC if need be?
One is yung mga, again, yung control ng makina. Halimbawa, may grupo ng mga pinapaborang kandidato na maghahag ng pila. They can report that back. Bantayan nila yon. Yung handling ng PCOS, yung paglipat ng CF card, yung mga
Babantayan yun dapat.
Babantayan yung mga yan. Okay? Ang sinasabi ko, yung resulta nandun. Okay? Dahil wala tayong paraan na bantayan yung resulta mismo, bantayan natin yung nangyayari sa paligid. Diba? How are these things handled? Nagsara ba yung botohan ng maaga o ng late? Yung transmission ba nangyari kinabukasan?
Right after.
Or right after?
Dapat right after eh.
Dapat right after, di ba? So yung mga bagay na yun ang dapat na nire-report natin kung kanino man, sa media, doon sa mga election watch organizations.
Well, okay. Thank you very much, Elita. Ladies and gentlemen,
My pleasure.
We've got issues, it's obvious, and we're going to be faced with the elections in 50, 60 days. I'm not any longer sure who's going to control the elections. Ang daming issues pumapasok. The vulnerability, the volatility of this Smartmatic machine now that we bought it for some 10 billion altogether, plus the rental money we paid, plus the rental of warehousing and repairs and God knows what other commissions, plus cost of paper, printing, balloting, ink, etc. I'm not sure if it's a grand conspiracy. One thing we did establish in this show is competence. Competence that the COMELEC so desires and so requires. Ang problema, sila pa nagagalit pag silang natutulungan. I don't understand that. But somehow, alam mo, people in government have no right getting pissed off with people or groups that nag them of different issues. Because you are there to serve the people. You're not there because commissioner ka, siga ka. No. Like the president, empleyado ka namin. Sagutin mo, huwag ka magagalit. At kung magalit ka, mag-resign ka na lang. Kasi huwag ka magwawalang hiya sa amin because you're nobody. You are the people's employee. So don't walk around and opening your mouth as if you have something to say. We don't care. If you don't do it right, we take you out. Maraming salamat po. My name is Harry Tambotko. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Again, thank you very much, Keith.
You are what you watch.